It's a good day at the beach. Flat blue sky, small waves, nothing that looks dangerous. You wade out to about waist height, nothing dramatic, and then you notice something. The shore is further away than it was 30 seconds ago. Not because you swam out, because the water you're standing in is moving, and it's taking you with it. Your first instinct is to swim straight back in. Direct line, shortest distance, get to shore as fast as possible. That instinct is going to work against you, and by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why. First, a correction, because most people are working with the wrong name for this entirely. It's not a riptide. There's no such thing as a riptide. Tides are caused by the gravitational pull of the moon, acting on the entire ocean over hours. What's pulling you right now has nothing to do with the moon. It's called a rip current, and it's a purely local event, sometimes only 50 feet wide, that can strengthen or fade within a few hours, depending on how the waves are behaving that day. So what actually is it? Waves roll in toward the beach and break, and all that water has to go somewhere. It piles up in the surf zone faster than it can drain away evenly, and water, like anything under pressure, looks for the path of least resistance. Usually that path is a gap or a low point in a sandbar. Once it finds that gap, all the pressure funnels through it, and you get a fast, narrow, concentrated river of water flowing straight out to sea. Not a current across the beach, a current away from it. And here's the part that should change how you think about this. You don't need a storm for this to happen. You don't even need bad weather anywhere near you. Waves generated by a hurricane thousands of miles away can travel across open ocean and hit your beach as a swell on a day that is otherwise calm and sunny, and that swell alone is enough to build a rip current. The most dangerous water of the day can show up on the nicest looking day of the year. Now, the speed. This is the number that actually matters, and it's the reason your instinct to swim straight back is a mistake. A typical rip current moves at 1 to 2 feet per second. Not terrifying on its own, but under the right wave conditions, they've been measured at up to 8 feet per second. That's over 5 miles an hour, sustained in a dead straight line, and it will not get tired. NOAA doesn't hedge on this one either. At that speed, a rip current is officially faster than an Olympic swimmer can sprint. And unlike a swimmer, it isn't spending everything it has on one explosive lap. It just keeps going, and it doesn't need to breathe, and it isn't going to slow down because you're getting scared. This is why swimming straight back to shore fails, and it's not because the current pulls you under. It doesn't. This is one of the most common myths about drowning, and it's dead wrong. A rip current moves horizontally, not vertically. It cannot drag you underwater. What it does is worse in a different way. It puts you in a situation where you're swimming as hard as you can, directly against something faster and more tireless than you, and getting absolutely nowhere for it. The muscle fatigue builds, the lactic acid builds. Panic sets in, breathing gets shallow and fast, which is the opposite of what you need in water. People don't drown in rip currents because the current pulled them down. They drown because they exhausted themselves fighting a current they could never outswim until they physically couldn't stay afloat anymore. The fix, and this is the part almost nobody is taught properly, is to stop swimming against it entirely. You swim parallel to the shore instead, sideways, out of the narrow channel of the current, because rip currents are usually only 50 to 100 feet wide. A few strokes sideways and you're often out of it completely, in calmer water where you can then turn and swim back to the beach at an angle. If you're too exhausted to do even that, the second option is simpler and harder to believe. Stop swimming. Float. Rip currents don't pull you out indefinitely. Many weaken just past the breaking waves, though some can keep pushing you hundreds of yards further out, and floating costs you zero energy either way while you wait for it to weaken or for help to reach you. The single most dangerous thing you can do is spend all your strength swimming directly into something built by physics to outlast you. There's a well-meaning instinct that makes this worse too. If someone sees a person struggling in a rip current, the natural response is to form a human chain and go get them. Lifeguards specifically warn against this because the same current pulling on the original swimmer pulls on everyone in that chain. What starts as one person in trouble can become 5 or 6, and now the people who were trying to help need rescuing themselves. So how dangerous is this actually, compared to the things people are taught to fear at the beach? In the United States, rip currents are responsible for over 100 deaths a year and account for more than 80% of all lifeguard rescues on surf beaches. That's not a rounding error. That's the overwhelming majority of why lifeguards exist in the first place. But the number that should genuinely unsettle you comes from Australia, where researchers cross-referenced 2 decades of coronial data. Rip currents kill more people there every single year than bushfires, floods, cyclones, and sharks combined. Roughly 21 deaths a year against those 4 causes put together. And when you isolate just one of those 4, it stops being close at all. Sharks average roughly 1 death a year. Rip currents average around 20. The thing everyone's afraid of on the way into the water is statistically almost irrelevant next to the thing nobody's thinking about at all. And in that same Australian data, nearly all of those deaths share one detail. They happen on unpatrolled beaches or outside flagged lifeguarded hours. It's not an unpredictable, unbeatable hazard. It's a hazard that becomes dramatically more survivable the moment there's someone trained watching the water, which is the entire reason those red and yellow flags exist. You can actually spot a rip current yourself before you're ever in one. Look for a channel of choppier, churning water cutting through calmer waves around it. Look for a stretch where the waves simply aren't breaking, when everywhere around it is white with foam. Look for a line of foam, seaweed, or sand-colored water being dragged steadily out past the break. It looks different enough from the water around it that once you know what you're looking for, you stop needing look to avoid it. Back to that afternoon. Flat sky, small waves, nothing that looked dangerous, and suddenly the shore is 30 feet further away than it was a moment ago. You weren't unlucky. You were standing exactly where the physics of that beach, that day, needed an exit for all the water piling up behind you. It found the gap in the sandbar, and you happen to be standing in it. It's not trying to take you out to sea. It doesn't know you're there at all. It's just water, doing what water under pressure always does. And on that particular afternoon, the path of least resistance ran straight through you.